I'm Alan Whitehead from Chinook's Engineering Services, and this is a screencast or webcast on using Google Classroom. And I hope to go through the basics in about 15 to 20 minutes. I can do it that quick, and you'll be able to review this online again through the same link on our YouTube channel for Chinook's Edge as well. So let's get started. First thing, when we look at Google Classroom, I guess is the question about what is it? So Google Classroom is a learning management system. There's a few other ones out there you might have used before, like Edmodo or Moodle. And if you use Desire to Learn, Brightspace, there's a whole bunch of different ones. This one incorporates with our Google accounts, so it's tied together with Google Apps. And we can use our Google accounts that the division's already set up for this. One nice thing about it, basically, it's really simple and refined. It's a lot simpler than some of the other learning management systems you might have used before. And basically, it's good for simplifying, creating, distributing, and taking in and grading student assignments in a paperless way. So if you're looking for a way to assign digital content, get it up to students, bring it back in from them, and communicate with students, this is a great option for you with our Google accounts. So to get there, I'll show you a few ways to access Google Classroom. The easiest way is like I've done here. I'll just show you by opening a new tab. I just type in classroom.google.com. That'll take you right to the site and your home page. Yours might look a little different, especially if you've never set one up before. The home page for me, because I'm in a class as a student, that's Mr. Burton's art class here, and I've also created a class as a teacher. It's my fake social studies class on the right. If you haven't created one before, you might see kind of an image here, but you should have the same top bar along the top. Another way to access it is if you're on a different Google app. So for instance, this is my Drive. If I'm in Drive or Gmail, something like that, if I click on this 9 square here, or the waffle, some people call it, you can actually go to More in the drop-down menu and find Classroom in there as well. And click there, and it will take you to Classroom as well. So once we get there, you want to make sure you're logged in. Your username will be in the top right if you are logged in. If you're not, you'll have to click Login here, and it's your same @CESD73.ca username and password as the rest of your account. Once you've done that, you can click this little bar on the side, kind of a little view of what you've got going if you're a teacher or if you're enrolled as a student, and you can do both. So if you have a friend, a teacher who has a class that you want to just peruse around in, you can ask them to enroll you in that class as well, and you can see it as a student. The plus button here is how you join classes or create a class. We'll just show you if we click Join Class, it will ask for a class code. So I'll show you in a minute how you can get those class codes, and that's a great way to enroll students. Just give them the class code and have them go to the site and enroll themselves. And the other option, again, create a class as a teacher then. I'll show you now what it looks like if I go into my social studies class that I've set up. This is the view in Google Classroom. It's pretty straightforward and basic. You can see it's all based along kind of a stream, like a social media stream, and it's all chronological. So going to the very bottom, that's where we see the oldest announcement that I made back in August of last year, up to the most recent from December 1st. So it's all based on time. When you put something in, it pushes everything else down. There's two things you can add to your stream, an announcement on the top here, or an assignment. An announcement basically just puts some information on the stream, so you can share something, you can post a document, you can put a Drive item, a video from YouTube, or a link, and then click Post. You can put a whole bunch of information if you like, or you can just have it be very concise. Here's an announcement at the bottom of my class. I just said welcome to the class, and I attached a website and a video. Click on that, it opens the link.
The future is coming, isn't it?
Or you can go to the web link. So it's a way of sharing content with students and information, or just making, like it says, a brief announcement about what's going on in the class. You can allow students to make announcements as well, or you can restrict that feature just to teachers. Once you've made an announcement, students can comment on it if you've allowed them to, and you can make a comment later as well. You can also click this three little bar menu or three little button menu, and you can edit or delete an announcement. So I can delete it to get rid of it, or I can hit edit just to change something in it. So if I decide I want to add to it or take away or put a different link in there, I can do that after the fact as well. The other piece, so announcements is one, the other being assignments. If you click on assignments to add one, you can write in the name of it, you can put a description if you'd like, you don't have to, and you can set a due date for when it's due, which is important as well if you want students to submit by a certain time. You can even put the time in if you want to be really exact. Just like the announcement, you can attach something from your computer with this button, or something right out of your Google Drive, a YouTube video, or any other kind of web link. You can attach that there as well. So I'll give you an example, a few examples I've got. One here is a math quiz. Now, this one works a little bit different. If you want to attach a survey like a Google form, if you're familiar with those, you would think you would just add that through your drive, but actually with Google Forms you have to add them as a link, because it opens the link for the student to then complete what you've put on there. So if I put this quiz on, I'll show you that again. When I click on the link, the math quiz, it takes me right to the quiz, which I can then, as the student or as the teacher, fill that out. You can also see here it was due November 27th. I can edit or delete that again, just like an announcement. I can see which of my students have done that and which have not. If I click on that, it'll actually take me to a page to show me specifically the students I have enrolled, or both teachers in the division. One, you can see here, did it, submitted it the day before it was due. Good job to Dean. And I can see Caitlin submitted it a little bit late, but I think I actually assigned it to her late as well. So we won't fault her for that. But I can even see when she submitted it. So we'll go back to that main page. Another example of an assignment might be a writing assignment. So for instance, this position paper. Again, I can see 2 students did it. I go into there, and I can see some submission history. This is interesting with this one. It was done and then unsubmitted. So students can actually take it back and then resubmit as well. But it tells you if they've done that or not, so you know. And students can also make comments when they submit as well, if they need to let you know anything. You notice here too with the position paper, I've attached this as a Google Doc. If I click on it, I can see the assignment again. So if I want to have a look at it, see what the assignment was that I gave to them. And over here it says that each student will get a copy. You can edit that and change it to, if you want each student to be able to view the same copy, so you can have them all work on it at the same time. So you can change your settings for how you share documents through Classroom as well. Every student works in the same one together, or they each get their own copy when they take it from the site. Looking at the assignments and how it's set up, what works in the background with Google Classroom is that it sets up a folder structure within Google Drive. So when you create a class or join a class, it automatically sets up folders for you in your Google Drive account. So now this is my account, which I've created the class with. I have a classroom folder in here, right here, that was created the day that I created a classroom in Google Classroom. So it was done automatically for me. go into that folder, you can see I've got two subfolders, one for the class I have set up as a teacher, and one for the class that that I'm enrolled in with another teacher. So if I go into my class, you can see there's more subfolders within that. And what those are is that each folder that I've made an assignment for, gets a subfolder created automatically as well. So I didn't create any of these folders. They were automatically set up as I added assignments onto my classroom. So we looked at the math quiz before. That was automatically set up with the quiz in it, and then the responses that were gathered. So people that have submitted it. That's their answers to that quiz. If I go back to the position paper folder that I showed you before, if I go in there, I can see each position paper that was submitted by a student back to me. So how it works is when the students go to the classroom, they take the paper, it makes a copy, and it puts it in their own Drive folder as well. So students get their own Drive folder automatically set up through Classroom as well. They work on it, and then they go to the site and resubmit it back. When it does that, it puts it back into my folder for me with their name on it. So I can see the name of the assignment and the student that submitted it. So I know this is Dean's, this is Justin's, this is Kylie's. And then I can go look at them, grade them, put comments on them, and I can send them back to them. So it manages your Drive folders without you having to set up all the sharing features and options yourself. So that's assignments basically, and how it manages in the background for you with your Drive folder. How to add students. Now along the top you can see it's got a stream and it's got a students tab. If I click students tab, it shows me which students are currently enrolled in my class. I can select a student, and then I've got a few actions. I can remove them from the class, send them an email, or mute them, which won't allow them to post anything or comment in the classroom. Over here, I've got kind of those global features where do I want to allow all students to post and comment, or do I want to allow only students to comment, or only the teacher can post and comment. So you can decide on what you're comfortable with that. And you can invite students. So using their account, if you know their account, or you can search for them. You could find students' Chinook's Edge account, their at CESD73.ca account, and invite them to the class. That's a bit time consuming though, if you have 30 kids or so that you're entering their accounts for all of them. An easier way is that class code I mentioned before, where when they go to the classroom homepage, they can join a class and enter this class code. That code will also be on the main page of your classroom as well over here. So if anyone wants to just take a look at Classroom, feel free to take this code and join my class as a student to see what I'm talking about. You can enter that code and join as a student just to have a look around. If you feel like doing any of the assignments, go for it. As a teacher, if you've been giving this code out and then perhaps you want to change it for whatever reason or the next year, you can reset it, but just know that anyone who tries that code afterwards, if you give it to them, it won't work anymore once you reset. You can also disable it to stop anyone from enrolling for a time as well. So that's the basics of Google Classroom. I was hoping to be done in 15 minutes, and that was about 14 minutes. So if you have any questions, you can email me at alwhitehead@CESD73.ca. Like I said, please feel free to join the classroom if you want to try one out. Take a look around. You can send me emails through the classroom site as well or ask any questions. And I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Thanks.